Welcome to the show. A bit of a surprise from the College Football Playoff Committee last night. Ohio State moving back to #1 in the new CFP rankings. The committee rewarding the Buckeyes for their win over Penn State this past weekend. LSU down to 2nd. The committee chairman noting the difference in defense for Ohio State and LSU this year. LSU and Georgia, by the way, play each other next week, the SEC Championship. The Buckeyes have 2 top 10 caliber opponents ahead of them. Much can still change in the next couple weeks ahead here. We are merely 10 days away from learning the Final 4 playoff teams. I'm Jared Smalley. Thank you for joining us here online, live across our Nexstar family of stations all across this great country. For the Gridiron Nation Path to the Playoff. We're going to check in with experts all across the country today, following the schools with the best chance to play for it all in January. We're going to start with the #2 team in the rankings. A change from last night, the LSU Tigers. The offense, of course, continues to roll. #2 total and scoring offense in the country, more than 48 points per game. The likely Heisman frontrunner, Joe Burrow, continues to put up comical numbers. 41 passing touchdowns against 6 picks, and of course, are 2nd in the country in passing efficiency. And to talk a little more about the Tigers this year, we head to New Orleans. We talk with Ed Daniels, a longtime sports director at WGNO Television there. And Ed, there was a reason LSU was moved from 1 to 2 last night. The committee said it is simply about a total team, and really it's about defense. They're 42nd in the country in scoring defense. Ed, Ole Miss, we saw a couple weeks ago, ran the ball consistently against the Tigers. So how has LSU tried to address this issue?
Well, I don't know if you can really say they've tried to address it. I think they have the team that they have right now. I always thought they were pretty good on the defensive line, but not great. And they've had some things happen to them. Michael Divinity, who was their leading sack guy, was suspended and wasn't with the team, didn't play in the Alabama game, and hasn't played since. Plus, Grant Delpit, who's their best player on defense, their safety, who's going to be a #1 pick in the NFL, has had a badly sprained ankle. He didn't play against Arkansas. But even with all of that, even if you got everything together in a perfect world, to be honest with you, I don't think that LSU is a top 10 defense. I think maybe they're a top 20 defense. And I think they need better players in the defensive front 7 to be able to move into the top echelon. So I'm not going to argue with it. I understand the whole argument about complete team. The only thing I would say about LSU is they have wins over Auburn, Florida, and they won at Alabama. And frankly, I thought that victory would carry a little more weight.
Yeah, Ed, you're spot on. It's the resume of resumes right now for LSU, what they've got going. Obviously, that offense is so strong that they've been able to make up for some quote-unquote deficiencies on defense. It's a little bit what we saw from Ohio State a year ago when they scored so many points and had some real problems on defense. The guy spurring that offensive growth, obviously, is Joe Burrow. And we learned this week he's a finalist for the O'Brien Award of the top quarterback in the country. Most folks probably haven't voted for the Heisman yet, Ed, but it seems like if form holds here, he's going to be the guy, considering that LSU's had just one prior winner of a Heisman Trophy. How has the school kind of wrapped their arms around this candidacy for Joe?
Well, you know what? There hasn't been a lot of talk about that, frankly. I haven't seen one thing go out from LSU promoting his candidacy. There's been no campaign. You know, it has been 60 years since Billy Cannon won the Heisman in 1959. I have a Heisman vote. I'm pretty sure who I'm voting for. I'm pretty sure who the best player in the country is. I think he might be in the South, although the Heisman committee kind of frowns on, voters disclosing who they're going to vote for. Without a doubt, Joe Burrow is the overwhelming leader in the clubhouse. He's the first player in the history of the Southeastern Conference to have 4,000 yards passing and 40 touchdowns. The season he is having is absolutely beyond. And if you can name someone in college football who's had a better year than he, who's even close, what Joe Burrow has done is fantastic, and people talk about his stats, but he's done it in the big games, the biggest of games. And that, to me, is what the Heisman Trophy is all about.
That's a great point. He has raised his level when the competition has raised up against LSU this year.
No question.
Let's talk a little bit about what's coming up here this weekend for the Tigers. Obviously, Georgia is coming in a couple weeks, but you got A&M this weekend. And I would imagine if I'm a coaching staff, like Ed Orgeron and his Tigers coaching staff, you get that little bit of motivation there. When your team gets knocked down a peg, they move from 1 to 2. I'd imagine they'll use that for everything they can to get ready for an A&M team, who, by the way, the Tigers know what A&M can do. They played to, 7 overtimes last year, so there's a little history here between the teams.
Well, you know, I think 1 and 2 is some motivation. I get that, dropping down to 2. But I think the bigger motivation is, look, if this were a mafia movie, LSU wants to whack Texas A&M. 7 overtimes last year. One of their coaches, who has a pacemaker, who's an analyst, Steve Cragthorpe, was shoved in the chest. There was a lot of ugly things that happened after the game, and LSU felt there was a lot of Texas A&M guys who were doing more than their share of crowing. The only thing I can say about Texas A&M is I still think they're a pretty good team. I still think that, you know, everyone in Baton Rouge thinks LSU is going to whack them this week. And the line is 17. But the one thing I'll say about that is A&M has lost to Clemson, Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia. They've played 3 number-1 teams this year. So to say that they're not battle-tested would be, you know, just not correct. But I still think LSU will win that game, and then they'll move on to Atlanta to play Georgia as a 12-0 team and maybe not the number-1 team in the country.
It's going to be fascinating to see Kellen Mond and company. They're not going to be afraid of anybody, and they'll take their best shot at LSU come this weekend. Ed Daniels in New Orleans, thanks so much for joining us here.
My pleasure.
And now to the new number-1 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, who got their first serious test of the season. And despite getting turnover happy against Penn State, the Buckeyes still won that game by 11 points. They controlled the game, and the Bucs continue to lead the country in so many categories, including total defense, scoring defense, #1 pass defense in the country. That pairs rather nicely with an offense racking up 49 points per game. That is the most in America. And now we bring in former Ohio State assistant coach and recruiting coordinator Bill Conley to talk about rivalry week. That team up north around Ohio State, you're not allowed to say the M word.
No.
We can. It's Michigan. He won't say it, but that's what it is. It is that kind of rivalry. Ohio State, of course, Bill, happy to be back at #1, and I promise you they don't care.
Exactly right.
It does not matter this week. Bill, by the way, coached or played in 21 Ohio State-Michigan games. There's great rivalries all over the country, Bill.
Right.
You know, the Iron Bowl, Auburn, you got Army, Navy, UCLA, USC, on down the line. Why is this rivalry, in your opinion and many people's opinion, the best?
Absolutely. Well, it goes to several things. First of all, longevity. This goes all the way back to the 1800s. Second of all, the great coaches that have been involved with it. You know, from Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, you can go on and on. Great football coaches. Another thing, the closeness of the 2 states.
Yeah.
You know, players have come from both states and played for the other team. That has a lot to do with it. And matter of fact, in 1835, there's almost a war between the 2 states over Toledo.
That's right.
So it's one of those things, a great rivalry because of all the history that goes with it.
And we're showing you some video from around the Columbus area this week. It really is that weird. Yes, they do X out all the M's around campus in the facility. There's obviously that all year round. They have a shrine set up to the game. It is an enormous deal for the Buckeyes, both the players and coaching staff.
It strikes at my heart strong because I just see that this is everything. I just know that, you know, the Ohio State football team means everything to the people of Ohio. It runs deep in their blood, and it's who they are. It's their identity. It's their pride. And to be the head coach of the football team, that's just an unbelievable responsibility, and that's why we stay late at night. We come early in the morning and make sure we do everything we can to make sure we're successful in this game because it means so much to so many people, and I take that to heart.
It's a different way of life. We know when this week comes up, we walk a little bit differently, we act a little bit differently, and we just know what's ahead of us.
Actually, this is even before I got here. I never understood the rivalry, but I was wearing like a blue tank top in the facility, and one of the hosts was telling me, "Hey, do you have a jacket or anything? You got to take that off because, you know, you're not allowed to wear blue in here."
That is actually a common story at Ohio State. If you cannot wear blue in that place, they'll get after you pretty
Or
good.
khaki pants.
Or khaki pants, also a faux pas. So look, Ohio State obviously last week, Bill, they win the game over Penn State because of their defense. The defense was so stout. and that meant the return of Chase Young. Back from his 2-game suspension, it's just that there's not anybody out there that seems to be able to handle him. He continues to wear people down. 3 sacks last week, 4 tackles for loss. This week named a finalist for the Maxwell Award. Of course, that goes to the country's top player. And now Michigan takes their turn trying to figure out Chase Young.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy, he is arguably the most dominant player in college football this year. Everybody knows what they're going to do, but they still can't stop him. And he's forced fumbles, 7 just this year alone. And the different offenses have to try to turn their protection, use 2 or 3 guys to try to block him. So every time they make a game plan, it's got to try and handle Chase Young, and nobody's been able to do it.
Is he legitimately, even though he missed the 2 games, Bill,
right?
People generally think of him as the best player in America, and when you watch him play, it's hard to argue otherwise. Should he be, we just talked about Joe Burrow, and it's a great argument for Joe Burrow. Statistically, he's been great this year, great. Is Chase Young the best player?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I've been around this business a long time. Nobody is that dominant. When you know exactly what the guy's going to do, he'll line up some different places, but they try to do everything they keep him out of their backfield. It can't be done. He's that dominant.
Let me ask you a question. You recruited Orlando Pace to Ohio State. Orlando Pace, generally considered, if not the greatest tackle of all time, one of the greatest tackles of all time. When you evaluate Chase Young as a player, is he on that level in terms of generationally great?
Absolutely. First of all, they were both, talk about Orlando and Chase, very athletic for linemen. And they're guys that had high motor, played hard every game, every snap of the ball. And again, opposing coaches had to do something special to try to counter those 2 guys.
We're going to come back at the end of the show. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Michigan game. I do want to talk one more thing about Ohio State, and that's with the Penn State game. Turnovers were a big problem for the Buckeyes. They fumbled the ball away 3 times, and even in some of those cases, the ball was secured. That Justin Fields touchdown, the ball is right tucked up, and you have to salute Penn State for making a great play, putting a helmet on the football and knocking it free. But how much of a issue this week will be ball security, considering 2 things? Michigan's got a great defense, and it's going to be an ugly weather day potentially in Ann Arbor Saturday.
I think it may be the most important thing, because when you play away from home, especially in a rowdy crowd like it'll be in the big house, then you've got to make sure you secure the football. I can promise you there's been a lot of work done in practice this week.
We're going to talk more about that Michigan game because it can't just last one segment. We'll come back and talk more about it with Coach Conley in just a little bit. We do expect an excellent game Saturday. Michigan playing about as well as anybody right now, rediscovering some firepower in their passing game. But first, Ohio State wanted a game, got a game from Penn State upon closer inspection. Buckeyes had the game in hand, and the Nittany Lions, of course, hung around there with all those turnovers. Buckeyes are looking good with the road ahead. They've got the Wolverines this week, and then the Big Ten title game. We'll find out who they're going to play this weekend, either Minnesota or Wisconsin. All right, here we go with Clemson. Now, when you look at them, the number 3 team in the CFP rankings right now, it's very simple for them. They continue to dominate. They have not lost a game since the 2018 national title game, and they are just rolling offensively. Highly ranked offense and, of course, highly ranked defense. You see how good they are on first down. Simply a dominant program, and perhaps the best in the country again. We'll find out soon enough. Tigers enjoying a bye week last week, now getting ready for their annual rivalry game. Pete Yannity, the sports director at WSPA, the official station of the Tigers. He joins us now live to talk about Clemson and what they're doing this season. Pete, let's talk about this first. With South Carolina, what they did at Georgia earlier this year, pulling the upset, how does that affect Clemson's alertness for the game?
I don't think it does at all. To be blunt on that, that South Carolina win at Georgia came back in early October. A pick 6 was part of South Carolina's offense that day. Georgia's Jake Fromm did not have a good day, and give the defense that Will Muschamp, the head coach, has a very big hand in credit for how South Carolina was able to impact Jake Fromm and that Georgia offense that day. But I think that's the furthest thing from this Clemson team's mind going into the ball game on Saturday. Yeah, undoubtedly so. Those 2 teams do not like each other. That'll get your attention. Clemson, of course, is getting set for this game, but then in the back of their mind, they've also got the ACC title game coming up. They're going to get Virginia Tech, and those teams meet Friday, their annual rivalry game. Clemson did not play either of those teams this season. Would either of them pose much of a threat to Clemson with something that they do schematically? And again, and interestingly, they haven't played Virginia Tech since the ACC title game back a few years ago when Deshaun Watson led the team to their first national title, the first of two of the past 4-year stretch here, including this season. And Virginia, they haven't played Virginia since all the way back in 2013 at a game in Charlottesville. But in terms of looking at just the numbers and looking at just some of the metrics going in, you don't get that impression simply because this has been a Clemson team that has been as dominant as any in this college football era for them that began back in 2015. And I think it speaks volumes of the fact that neither quarterback on those teams is anywhere near the top of the ACC in terms of their efficiency, their yards, that kind of thing. The running games for both those teams, and if you're going to hang with Clemson, as North Carolina showed, you got to be able to run the ball. And neither of those running games have shown a whole lot for Virginia Tech or Virginia. And frankly, not to sound jaded, but in this little corner of the world, the way this season has gone for this Clemson team, there literally has been not a whole lot in question by early in the second quarter. Sure, you say the Texas A&M game, that was kind of close. Well, their only touchdown came within the last 10 seconds of the ball game. Right. The North Carolina game, of course, was one that went down to the wire. That was the one that had all the intrigue to it. But strategically, the way the schedule worked out, that was at the end of the first 5 games of the season. They had an open date. During that open date, they simplified some things on offense, got away from the RPO, started to run more straightforward. Travis Etienne, the fine running back, has been tremendous since then. In the past 6 games, they've outscored the opposition by better than nearly 250 points. I mean, that gives you an idea how dominant they've been. Yeah, Clemson's got a bunch of players. You mentioned Etienne up for the Doak Walker Award we learned this week. And then, look, defensively, they're obviously very talented, proven again this week. Linebacker Isaiah Simmons, he's up for the Nagurski, the Bednarik, and Butkus Awards, continuing that tradition, of course. Great Clemson defenders up for national awards. If people have not seen Isaiah play this year, Pete, how would you describe his impact on a game? He is just such a unique athlete, it seems. Yeah, he really is. Dabo Swinney once described him as, when he first got to the Clemson program, it's like watching a giraffe run around out there. He's a very long player. He's not the most physically imposing guy you see when he walks in the room, but he's listed as a linebacker. They'll walk him up, and he'll look like a stand-up defensive end occasionally. He can drop back in coverage. He truly is a hybrid. He'll be a really unique study for the NFL scouts, and he's going to come out after this year, even though he can come back for one more year. But he's already declared he's coming out. But he'll be a really unique guy because it'll be interesting. 32 teams will give him a look in the NFL, and I would predict half of you will say, oh, that guy's a strong safety. The other half will say, you know, he'd be a really interesting outside linebacker, especially in like a 3-4 look. So I think the future has a huge upside for him. But the thing about him is he leads the team in tackles for loss with 12. He's one of the only players in the country that meets the minimum of tackles for loss, sacks. He's the team leader with 6 sacks, and he's got over 70 tackles, even though he's not the team leader. But he's one of those guys that works perfectly in a Brent Venables defense in which they always seem to have the guys in the right place, and they seem to be a very athletic kind of team that doesn't necessarily have the biggest guys, but they've got guys who can run to the right place, and as a result, they allow 2.9 yards per play. I mean, that's really stunning. I mean, every team they play is always behind schedule on moving the chains, and they haven't allowed a team this season of the 11 they've played to get over 300 yards. I mean, that's near historic. They in Ohio State right up there among the leaders in total defense, and there's a reason for it because of guys like Isaiah Simmons. Exactly. Team's not real excited about playing Clemson's defense this year, that's for sure. Pete Yannity, as good as anybody covering the Clemson Tigers. Pete, we sure appreciate your help here today. Clemson, by the way, down to 1 regular season game, as we just mentioned. They're rivals from South Carolina. Then the ACC title game, by far, it would appear the easiest path to the college football playoff. Now, back to the SEC to talk about Georgia, number 4 in those playoff rankings. Bulldogs looking strong right now. Number 2 scoring defense in the country, allowing barely 10 points per game. There's so much talent there. Now 2nd in the nation against the run. They are coming on strong at the best time. And now Georgia will finish its season with 2 massive games, but massive for far different reasons, obviously. Rex Castillo, sports director at WRBL. He joins us now with a look at what awaits the Dogs. It's Thanksgiving week, a time to reflect on the blessings we have. However, this Saturday in Atlanta, it's time for some clean, old-fashioned hate between the Dogs and the Yellow Jackets. Georgia is a heavy favorite in this year's matchup, while the Dogs have won their third straight SEC East title and will compete for the conference crown in 2 weeks. Georgia Tech is going in a different direction. They're transitioning to more of a spread-out offense, a stark difference from their traditional option-based attack. But Kirby Smart knows to expect anything in this showdown with the Jackets. And, well, he still has a bad memory when it comes to this rivalry game.
Records are thrown out. None of that matters. You know, they finished Thursday. This is a huge opportunity and stage for them. We acknowledge that. A lot of our kids will be playing in front of their home crowd, where they're from, their community, because of so many kids being from the Atlanta area. The memory I have is probably the worst. It's what you always do. You don't remember the positive sometimes. You remember the bad. It was my last home game at Sanford Stadium, and lost on a game-winning field goal with Joe Hamilton's drive. So that was my last memory of Sanford Stadium. Thank God I got into coaching, so I got to fix that.
Kirby Smart is currently 2-1 against the Yellow Jackets in his career leading the Dogs. And if Georgia wins this game, it will be the third straight season where the Dogs have won at least 10 games in the regular season. Reporting on the Georgia Bulldogs for the Gridiron Nation, I'm Rex Castillo.
All right, Rex, and if Georgia wins out, then beats LSU in the SEC title game, they're going to be in the playoff, no doubt. The rivalry game, of course, with Georgia Tech upcoming. To the most interesting team in the CFP race right now, it's Alabama. No Tua, no problem. As expected last week, of course, Mac Jones and company cruising past Western Carolina. They'll get back to big-time football this week in a major way. It's the Iron Bowl. Best team in America in terms of turnover margin is Alabama. Chris Brees, the sports director there at CBS 42 in Birmingham, he joins us now to talk about the Tide. So they played Western Carolina last week. I'm not sure how much we learned about Bama, obviously, but at least with quarterback and with Mac Jones there, let's talk about him. Anything we can learn from his performance as evidence of how he might play in this big one coming up?
I would like to say we have learned something, but those defenses, let's just be frank here, are nothing compared to what Alabama is going to play against Auburn this weekend. We saw, if you want to compare past games, Auburn looked good against LSU on defense. They looked pretty good against Florida. And the last half of the game against Georgia, they looked pretty good as well. Alabama has not seen this kind of defense. I'll even include the LSU defense as well. That's problem number one for Mac. But I think what we're going to see from this Tide offense, a lot like what we saw Lane Kiffin did a couple years ago, masking Jalen Hurts and his deficiencies in 2016 and 2017. A lot of short passes, dinking and dunking, extending the run game on the outside. They can do that well. They'll be okay in this game. And I've been going back to this for days now, Jared. The fact that this is not something new. Alabama didn't have to put a new quarterback in yesterday or last week. They've been preparing for Mac Jones to be the quarterback for 2.5 weeks now. It's not a surprise. They know it's ahead of them, and that's the big thing that they have to lean on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Chris, we were talking earlier about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry and how much it's revered and loved, but I'm sure plenty of people who follow the Iron Bowl closely would argue strongly about the determination between those two outstanding organizations. Bama and Auburn coming together in the Plains. Bama's won 4 of the past 5 in the rivalry. It's not just about winning for Bama, right? It seems, Chris, they're going to have to do something really special Saturday to give the committee something to think about.
Well, there's people in 3 boats with the Alabama program right now when it comes to opinions on making the playoff. The first boat of people is very optimistic. You win this game, you're probably going to be in just because you're Alabama. The second boat is probably the majority of the people is saying, well, if they look really good against Auburn and not having Tua not being an issue, they'll likely get in. Then the third group says, doesn't matter what they're going to do. Utah's going to pass them. Oklahoma now could pass them, according to that group. And I was really struck by the playoff rankings yesterday. Just the fact that Baylor beats a 4-loss Texas team. They go up 5 spots, but Oklahoma beat that exact same undefeated Baylor team. They went up 1 spot the other week. Everyone's saying that doesn't make any sense. To me, last night, that meant that the Big 12 champion is now being readjusted into what their likelihood would be of making the playoff. But if you are Alabama, you cannot take any kind of chance and assume that just because you have the name brand that you're going to get in. They don't have that big win, and that's their problem. Back in 2017, they always say the debate of unequivocally better than the other teams. I don't even know if the most optimistic Alabama fans can say they are that much better as a 1-loss team, not winning their conference over Utah or Oklahoma. That's their big problem right now, and that is why they have to win this game handedly on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's the argument a lot of people are making, and it's a fair point. So let's talk about the opposition there. Auburn has seemingly, to us on the outside at least, they've got to have played the toughest schedule in the country. I mean, they've lost 3 games to Florida, LSU, and Georgia. How motivated do you think Auburn is to get that major win? You know, obviously they want to beat their rival, but just get that win that's eluded them seemingly all year.
Every single year, this has been a similar script, minus 2017, obviously. The fact that Alabama is the team who's in the playoff conversation, they're clearly the favorite, not so much this year, just 2.5 to 3 points. But every single time we have seen the first half be really evenly played, so close. And then the second half, Alabama distances themselves, and clearly it's because of strength on both lines and having a lot of depth. This year, I don't really see that being the case. Just the fact that Alabama's defense not nearly what it used to be. Auburn, yeah, they may not be that great on offense, but they're not going up against some of these other great defenses like they did against Georgia last week or Florida about a month and a half ago. That's problem number one. We know Auburn's going to come in motivated. They have nothing left to play for. They have nothing left to lose but to win this game. Every year it's play spoiler on Alabama. That's their motivation. The big question every year becomes, do they have enough in the tank when it comes to the fourth quarter?
Yeah, that defensive front for Auburn is something special, too. Chris Brees, they're joining us in Birmingham. Oh, yeah, they're outstanding. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We sure appreciate it, and we'll be looking forward to seeing Alabama and Auburn this weekend. The path for Bama, look, they're not going to be in the SEC title game. They basically just have the Iron Bowl, chance to show their strength with Mac Jones at quarterback. That's one to keep an eye on this weekend. If you're an Oklahoma fan, you have to be accustomed to it by now because no one plays more exciting football games than the Oklahoma Sooners right now. Hanging on in the final minute to beat TCU and Norman last week. Their offense is a machine, 574 yards per game by a good amount, best in the country, scoring 45 a game if they can win out. Their playoff chances are okay. Here's K4 Sports Director Brian Brinkley.
Oklahoma just barely kept their college football playoff hopes alive with a 28-24 win over TCU last Saturday night. It was the 3rd straight close call for the Sooners, but it keeps them in the hunt for one of those Final Four spots. Oklahoma isn't crazy about having to win close games, but they also feel it's made them better, and they're ready to put the pieces together for their best game yet.
It shows the kind of the identity of our team from the standpoint of the mental toughness we have and the ability to find ways to win. It's not, I said this, it's not supposed to be easy. And it's not going to be easy. But we're battle tested and we know how to win and we fight. So we're getting better. We're getting better and better every week, you know, and we just got to put it together so we can go out there and play how we want all the time.
On the defensive side of the ball, the Sooners seem to be progressing, but they're still dealing with inconsistency. They started with 3 straight 3-and-outs against TCU last Saturday, then had some issues before stiffening late in the game and getting a game-clinching interception in the final 2 minutes. After being maligned the last few seasons on that side of the ball, one veteran OU defender says they know they must be better down the stretch.
No explanation. You know, the bottom line is, you know, if we're not hitting that standard that we have for ourselves, we're wrong. And, you know, the goal is to always hit the standard and exceed that standard. So every time we didn't, you know, we had to be better at that. You know, there's consequences for that, and obviously it showed up on game days. But, you know, again, you know, we play this game. We understand it's not going to be perfect all the time, you know, but, again, you can't get caught up in the moment. And Coach Grinch, as well as, you know, the rest of the coaches, you know, just constantly, you know, instill that in and say, you know, hey, next play, you know, no matter what happens, whether we're up, down, tie game, whatever the situation is, you know, got to get the ball back to the offense. You got to get 3-and-out takeaways, and we got to make plays.
That inconsistency on defense is starting to show up a little bit on offense as well. Oklahoma's been plagued by turnovers the last few games, and they had 2 bad halves in each of their last 2 games, but they still survived to win. The head coach just wants to make sure they're continuing to progress with the biggest games of the season upcoming.
I would argue I don't think we were very consistent the first 7 games. I mean, I think that's a little bit who we've been as a team, and everybody deals with that. I mean, that's everybody in the country is fighting the consistency battle and want to play your best ball as much as you possibly can. And so, no, I mean, I think, in a lot of ways we're moving forward, especially the last couple of weeks. We've done some things much better than we could ever even dreamt of doing in the first 7 games. We've played, I think, better competition. And then also we have made some critical errors that have held us back from being able to separate in those games. And you can't do that. It's part of the game. I think 90% of what we're doing right now is drastically improved from where we were at any point early or mid-season. We can't let that 10% just kill us.
The Sooners close the regular season with the Bedlam rivalry against Oklahoma State this Saturday in Stillwater at 7 o'clock Central Time. Oklahoma has won 4 in a row over the Cowboys, and they're favored by 2 touchdowns to win this weekend. Then it's the Big 12 championship game a week from Saturday against Baylor in Arlington, Texas. Jared, back to you.
All right, a few weeks ago, Baylor had a 28-3 lead on Oklahoma in Waco. They failed to make that lead stand up, and that's the Bears' lone blemish this season. And what's remarkable here, it's not a team which stands out statistically in any real way. Top 20 in scoring defense, but it's just been a consistent season for Baylor. We know the Bears will face Oklahoma in that Big 12 title game next week. And the question the committee's going to have to face here with Baylor, if they avenge their only loss of the year and they win a Power 5 conference title, should the Bears be in the playoff? Matt Roberts from KWKT in Waco has that story.
Entering Tuesday night's rankings reveal, the Baylor Bears' road to the playoff looked more like a rocky footpath on the side of a mountain. But the committee threw the Bears and the Big 12 a bone as Baylor jumped up 5 spots after dominating their way to a win over the Texas Longhorns this past weekend. And if form holds, Baylor will have a chance to get another impressive win against what could be a top 10 Oklahoma team at AT&T Stadium in a few weeks. Baylor will have to be impressive against Kansas on Saturday and be impressive against Oklahoma in that Big 12 championship game to help separate themselves from those teams ranked 5th through 10th. I also feel the Bears are going to need a little help from some people in front of them, maybe a Utah takes a loss in order for Baylor to jump up, because the committee has pointed out before the biggest knock on this Baylor team is their non-conference schedule. Calling it weak would be kind. SFA, UTSA, and Rice have won a combined 9 games this year, and that Rice game looks worse with each passing week, especially considering Baylor struggled in that game. One thing they have not done all season in the Baylor Bears is they have not dominated some of the middling to bottom-dwelling Big 12 teams in a conference that is deeper this year, but you need to see the Bears look good against Kansas, because they won't gain much ground with the wind, if any, over Kansas, but you could certainly see them losing a spot or two if it's a close one there in Lawrence. So the path to the playoff, certainly not a ride down easy street for the Bears, but there is a much brighter outlook for them than what we had entering this week. With the Bears in Waco, I'm Matt Roberts.
All right, Matt, and keeping an eye on the Utah and the Pac-12 there. They are eyeing their likely showdown with Oregon in the Pac-12 title game. 10-1 this season, home to Colorado Saturday. Their lone loss of the year at USC. They had some injuries in that game. Their resume also lacking a significant win, but if they beat Oregon, that could certainly boost their potential candidacy. So Utah's right there on the fringe of this argument. Those are the contenders, and Coach Bill Conley is joining us again here to wrap up our show here, Bill. Talk about 2 things here. Let's talk about the possibilities of upsets this weekend. When you look at what Michigan brings, they're on a heater right now. They've won 4 in a row, averaging more than 40 points a game over that stretch. They've thrown the ball really well, especially deep. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Nico Collins, great receivers for them. Bill, can they give Ohio State a scare or knock them off in Ann Arbor?
I think it'll be tough for them to beat Ohio State. Ohio State just has too many weapons both sides of the ball, but it can be a great fourth quarter before the decision's made game up there, because they're so good. And like you said, the last half of the year, they have played tremendous. 166 points, just given up 45. And Shea Patterson, just the last 2 weeks alone, has thrown for 300 yards in both those games and 9 touchdowns. Very impressive.
They've been, obviously. It was interesting to see them struggle early in the year, because you knew talent-wise they were better than that. Right. That talent's starting to show a little bit for Michigan, so we'll see if that can materialize on the field Saturday against the best team they've played by far this year. Bill, on the other side of the Big Ten, on the west side, you've got Wisconsin and Minnesota. The winner of that game Saturday goes to play Ohio State in Indianapolis in the Big Ten title game. And Minnesota still has an outside-looking-in opportunity here at the CFP. Let's size up that game. Who do you think emerges there?
Well, you got two different types of teams. You have Wisconsin, the normally physical football team, big and strong, and you have a Minnesota team that is not quite as good defensively, but they got great skilled athletes on offense. So every time you have those types of comparisons, I always like to go with defense, which the Wisconsin team's better, and the physicality of the Wisconsin team.
And if Wisconsin does emerge, by the way, Wisconsin's on the road for that game at Minnesota. If they do emerge, they get a second shot at Ohio State. You know, they're obviously very bitter about the way the first game played out in Columbus, where in a pouring rain, they just couldn't physically match up. And you know that annoys them because that's their game. That's the way they want to play.
You don't want to play the same team twice if you've won.
Yeah.
You want to play the same team twice if you've lost. So Wisconsin will really have a lot to prove if that happens.
That could be something we'll be keeping an eye on this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend for college football. All those great rivalries all across the country. And as we've mentioned here in this show, some of them very specific impact on the college football playoff race. We're back here next Wednesday, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Our final installment here on the Gridiron Nation path to the playoff, getting ever so closer down to a Final Four. We'll see you back here next week.